Game Beard.
Hi friends, it's me Dave, and I got my big Battletech Mercenaries Kickstarter, and we're going to unbox it briefly. You've probably seen most of the stuff, but I am going to review a lot of the components and talk about how much I liked it. Overall, my experience has been very positive, and I rate the Kickstarter highly, like all the stuff, like very highly. It's awesome, love it. But I do get critical on a few things, but they're small things. So I just want you to remember, overall I'm very pleased, and you can kind of watch and enjoy all the cool fun that I'm having while you're waiting for your Kickstarter to arrive. But I am critical on a few things, because it's so close to perfection. It's like, well, why not just make it perfect? And that's my thought on a few items. So hopefully next time they're not listening to this. But if they do, just make it perfect. You're like so close. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about shipping. Shipping was a drag, so that was the biggest bummer. But everything else, like after I paid it, is great. So now that I've forgotten about paying my shipping, and that's like a month away or whatever, it doesn't bother me as much. But it was a real bummer. So, but I'm not really including that in the review. I mean, you weigh how much that matters for your experience. I mean, it's pretty big. I mean, it's enough where I don't want to do another I don't like Kickstarters anymore because of all these weird unknowns. And maybe it's out of their hands. I get it, but I just don't like it. What can I say? Another thing, I did get one of the vehicles instead of a mech, but that's all right. I got so many mechs that I'm not. Maybe I'll try to get it fixed, but I don't really care. It's more of a hassle to get that vehicle switched out. I got plenty of mechs. But anyways, let's get to the unboxing. So here you can see I'm unboxing my beautiful package. Now the funny thing about this was I was expecting this 2 days later. Like I actually got this early. Now that's kind of a good thing, but it's kind of a bad thing. It's a bad thing because I was trying to finish painting my pile of shame. So I've got about, I don't know, 40 mechs that I need to paint. And so now they're sitting on my table. I didn't finish my pile of shame, and now I'm probably just not going to finish them because I'm going to have too much fun painting all these new models. So here you can see I'm opening up I'm just getting all the boxes out. Now, you've seen all these probably in better detail, so I'm not going to go crazy and show you every individual model, and that would take like 2 hours. And there's probably going to be other videos that talk about that. One thing about the shipping though, I mean, it's cool that I got it early, but if I wasn't available like on Sunday and I wasn't home, like that could have been a real problem. So I don't know, be aware. Like if you're getting your Kickstarter, just be home a couple days before you're expecting your package. Here's my pile of shame that I didn't finish. So you can see them all. Like, I mean, I got paint on them. Here you can see my package is dented. I had 2 boxes, and so my box was dented, but they packed it really well, and there's plenty of padding in there, so nothing was damaged. So, and that was good. The cardboard, I mean, I paid a lot of money for the shipping, but the cardboard was, you know, thick, and they have way too much bubble wrap. So I'm pretty happy with, I'm happy with the delivery, and I didn't have any mistakes. Like I said earlier, like I got an extra vehicle instead of a mech, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, and Catalyst did offer to fix that, but I'm probably not going to bother. So it's all good. And I do love these vehicles. I got a lot of vehicles. So in fact, I probably got more vehicles than mechs because I don't know, I figured that I would kind of finish out all the vehicles I need, in this Kickstarter. And then as they release the mechs to retail, I'll just pick up some extra boxes. So like I need to pick up a couple extra boxes. One thing I didn't get because I'm a cheapskate, even though I spent a lot of money on this Kickstarter, is I didn't get the Somerset Strikers. Like, I really wanted them, but I would have picked them if I could have, you know, been one of my picks, but I had to pay extra for it, and I already have been spending a lot of money on this. So I was like, nah, I'll just pick up Somerset Strikers when they come to retail. But it kind of sucks because that's the box that I want the most, is the Somerset Striker. So, oh well, I guess I gotta wait, but I will, and I'll just pick it up at retail. Here I got a couple of Visigoths. I hate to admit it, but I got 2 battalions, so I spent way too much money. Here you can see I got Grey Death and Kellhounds. I love these patches and swag. I mean, they're expensive to buy individually though, so I only bought a couple extra. Here are my posters. Normally I love posters, but I have a couple issues with some of them. You'll hear it later. You'll hear my quibbles. Here are my lapel pens. Love these. I have, for my previous Kickstarter, I have Clan Jade Falcon and I have Wolf's Dragoons. So I don't have a lot, but you know, I kind of picked up my favorites. Here are the Savannah Mac packs. These are awesome. I get 2 because I got 2 battalions, but that's fine. I got an extra one. And then, you know, what else do we got here? Oh, here's the collector's box, which is okay. I mean, it's different. I talk about that. I criticize it. Sorry. And then here's the regular box with the beautiful painting. So love it. Beautiful. Great. The funny thing about all this packing is like oh, and here are my challenge coins, and those look good too. But I immediately threw away, like I folded up these big boxes and put them in my recycle, and because they take up a lot of space. So I did that like first thing. But anyways, let's get into the review. Here's my Kickstarter stuff for Battletech Mercenaries. Now, I'm going to, instead of showing you every single miniature, I'm just going to show you my favorite things, and I'm going to review a lot of the stuff. And I'm going to be super critical, but the things I'm critical about are pretty small. Overall, I am very, very happy with everything. Like, everything's awesome. Everything's awesome, but I am going to be super critical only because it's so close to perfection. My thought is, why not just be perfect? Like, this could have been perfect. Perfect. In my opinion, of course. Like, what do I know? I'm criticizing like 2% of this project, this Kickstarter, and really it's awesome. Everything's great. I don't want you to think that I'm not happy. I'm super happy. First off, here's the box, but I'm going to move this away. That's actually just the lid. Let's talk about what turned out to be kind of my favorite things. I really love these patches. Now, I only got like 1 patch. I think I only got 1 patch in it. Or did I get 2? I think this is like all I got. Or here, would it have been this? I don't remember. I had to buy all these extras, and I was kind of grumpy about it because in the Clan Kickstarter, we got more of this stuff, and it turned out to be one of my favorite things. And normally, I don't know, you'd think I'm all about the miniatures and the game, but like for some reason, these really got me excited. So my first issue is they were stingy on these. Now, in their defense, maybe these were way expensive and they just couldn't be more generous with them. Fine, I get it. But these were awesome. And they were expensive to buy. $10 each. I would have liked to have more of these, but I was too cheap to pay $10 for these things. Anyways, that being said, I love these. These are great. So I got Kellhounds, I got Grey Death, I got the lapel pins, I think somehow I was going to get an extra challenge coin. Oh, I know why. It's because I got 2 battalions. So, like, yeah, I think they gave me, like, 1 thing and a challenge coin. So probably I got, like, maybe I got these, you know, with my pledge, and then I had to, like, pay extra for these. But I really like all of these. My only complaint is, I have a small complaint, is, like, this looks like the gold. Like, that should be whiter on the skull. And at first I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, they didn't paint it. Like, they were cheap. But then I was looking at it closer, I'm like, oh no, they did paint it. They painted it, it's just not very opaque. And so it's kind of like a light, it's like a yellow, it's more of like a light yellow than a white. Anyways, I would have liked it to be more lighter in value, but they painted it, so it's fine. Okay, now the dice. What about these dice? I'm going to be a little critical on the dice. The dice are, they're cool, like, but they're not, I don't know, they're too sparkly. They're too sparkly for me. I'm a dude, I'm an old man. And as an old man, I can appreciate the sparkle, but like, I'm not about the sparkle. I'm an old man. I got gray hair. Like I love this little chevron design, like the little A. I love the sharp corners. I love the yellow. I like the feel of them, and the sparkle is kind of cool. It's just I'm not about the sparkle. They're okay, but is okay good enough? No. Why? Because I'm probably not going to use these because they're just too sparkly for me. I'm a man. I'm a sober-minded man. Anyways, that's pretty minuscule. You're like, Dave, you didn't even pay for those. Yeah, I know, but these, I mean, I don't know. I was thinking, like, I was wondering if I could have picked these in black, and maybe they wouldn't have been a sparkle. Like, these are like the clear. I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe if they were darker and the sparkle was slightly more subdued, or just, I don't know. But anyways, too sparkly. And so you're like, you're being critical. Yeah, I know, but if I never use them, then even though they look great, if I don't use them, it's kind of like a fail. It's not a fail, but it's like, why bother? Like, why make them if I'm never going to use them? All the mechs are amazing. Is this gonna focus? All of the mechs are amazing, and so I'm not going to show them all to you. What is this? This is like a Phoenix Hawk 2, I think 2C. I don't know. It's like the clan Phoenix. Anyway, it's great. All the miniatures are great. I love them. I love them all. Here's the Blood Asp. You've probably seen these like a million times already. You've probably seen them on Reddit. I don't know. They're all great. The detail for the price is good. They're not too soft. I mean, they're good. These are great. Like, I don't really have any complaints about these miniatures. The miniatures are really good, and that's the main part of the Kickstarter, and that's really awesome. The turrets spin, and so that's great. Oh, I don't have it here, but like they have like the LRM carriers, and you can like switch out the turrets. So like I forget, like I don't know, is it like what, a standard, and then they got like a big one? I'm saying it all wrong, but that really impressed me. I was like blown away. So like they didn't have to do that stuff. Can we do two at a time here? So these guys are great. What is this? An Oss Scout and a Hermes too? Anyways, these are great. I love them. All the detail is there. They're great. I have no complaints. And that's saying a lot. Like, the whole thing is miniatures, and I think they all look great. So no problem here. You're like, so then what do you care about the dice? Well, why not make the dice perfect? That would have been my question. And then they all would have said, like, shut up, Dave. We're going to make the sparkly dice. And I would have been like, okay. Like, that's... Everyone tells me to shut up. No one listens to me. I'm going to show you my favorite miniatures, and they're not even the best miniatures. And I'll tell you why they're my favorite. So we got the... Oh, is this the Goliath? So the quads, right? So I love the quads. And you're like, those are kind of dumb, Dave. Well, the reason why they're not dumb, but they're probably... They may not be the best. These are... preference for sure, but the reason why I love these is because they're from Dugram, right? Or the designs are originally from Dugram, and I love Dugram. Like, I love all the Dugram designs that they incorporated into Battletech, and so I was waiting on these, and I was like, man, I really want those. And so these are really good. I'm happy with them. So these are like my favorite, like, because I just wanted these. I mean, they're not necessarily the best mechs. They're not necessarily the best sculpts. But I think they're great, and I really wanted them. The only thing that I don't like is like these pegs. And maybe they had to put them in for a reason, like for stability. But like, so I mean, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But they got this peg, right? Well, that's no good. Like, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that off. Hopefully it's not going to break. It seems pretty tight right now. So like, I'll have to pull that out. And then I'm just going to glue them back on. Maybe they had to include that peg because they figured, well, if these break off, people are going to complain. I mean, like, I hear you. But like that thing's definitely not. I mean, it's practically standing on the base. So, and I love it that these turrets move. Awesome. Turrets move. It's awesome. So they're awesome. So, but the peg, maybe that was out of necessity, but like nobody wants that peg. And then if they don't need it, this guy kind of needs the peg because he's like not really on the base, and I mean, this is kind of iffy. I mean, it doesn't bother me too much because they wanted to get a cool pose, but he's like his leg is way out, and that could be problematic. The original metal one, like his legs were all like, they were all kinked in, and maybe it was better because it fit on the base, but it probably wasn't better aesthetically. So I mean, it's cool. It's all good. I really like this, and I wish I would have gotten more of these in my salvage boxes, but of course I didn't get any of these Dugroms, and so that means I have to buy another pack of those guys. Another thing I love the Savannah Master. Am I going to show them to you? No. They're tiny little plastic and they're cool, but I loved it that we got these, and it was very wise of Catalyst to kind of throw these in for a freebie, because you can't really make like a lance of these things, because then people would be like, that's a ripoff. I mean, they could have included it just like maybe in the battlefield objectives. They probably could have put a couple of these in with the battlefield objectives. Like that would have been nice. But they couldn't make a full lance of these, so it's kind of nice that these were free. They threw them in, and really, I kind of would have. I wish I could have gotten. If I could have gotten one more of these boxes, I would have. But this is probably enough. I think I get 4 of them in here. 2 bases, 4 of them. This was really nice. This was definitely a positive. This was awesome. So these look great. They're good. These are great. So I love it. One thing I wanted to, one thing I didn't even think about, I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but like these salvage boxes, normally I throw all these away, but these are great to hold your cards. So like, I'm going to save this, and I'm just going to, I'm going to save a few of these boxes. I'm going to just save, they're like little card decks. So I love it. One thing I did do though, is here's that back tab, like this goes in, but I pulled it out and I taped it back. That way when I stick my cards in, it doesn't bump into that because it's taped on the outside. I use packing tape, and that's usually pretty good tape. And so these are awesome little card decks. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. I'm sure someone else did. Another thing that's awesome about this Kickstarter is the Savannah Mac Pack. This thing's perfect. This thing is perfect. Like, this thing's 100%. 100. So, okay, well, I guess we got to look at the art first. I'm not going to unfold these, but they're beautiful. They're beautiful. They're double-sided. They're great. I don't know, how many of these things do you get? You get one? I don't even know. You get a bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 double-sided. These are awesome. And the other cool thing, another win for this is, like, I don't know if I assume they're different, but you get Savannah style maps in the Mercenary box, and so they go with this pack. So it's like you have even more. I assume they're different. I didn't double check. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if they are different, perfect. They go together. They're beautiful. Great. They're clear. I mean, clear enough. They're good. And then I love this thing. This thing is so cool. So this is like I don't know, you get some cool tokens and buildings. You get an extra little lake. You get a bridge. It's so cool. But the cool thing about it is like they have they're double-sided, and then they have like the destroyed side. Oh, that's cool. And they give you options for like these trees and stuff too. So like this is like A+. This is awesome. This is like rad. And the card is really thick. Perfect. So the map pack, perfect. 100%. Oh, and as I'm rating and reviewing and grading this, I'm not including the shipping. I was pretty grumpy on the shipping. So it is what it is, or it was what it was. I paid it. I was kind of grumpy about it. I felt it was too high. But I mean, I kind of had enough money. I mean, I do. I have enough money to pay the shipping, but like I felt really uncomfortable paying that much. Like I felt like, oh my gosh, my wife's gonna kill me. My wife did not kill me, but I mean that's a lot of strain on
on a lot of regular people. I did have enough money, but I felt like I was overpaying, and it was a bummer. I didn't get the city. I guess they have a city map pack. I mean, I'll buy it. I was just like, oh, I'll get that when it comes out on retail. So, like, I will eventually get it, and if it's as good as this, then awesome. Like, I assume it's going to be as good as this, but I don't know. I'll find out. Okay. Let's talk about these things. Okay, so this was the fancy record sheets. Now, I like them, but I don't like them 100%. So, but you know what I do like? Like, I'm probably never going to use these, but like, I think this is awesome. This is like the beginner box record sheet, and it's simpler, and I think this is great. This is great for kids. So like, if I had like a junior high or like a 6th grader that wanted to play Battletech, or I wanted to like brainwash him into enjoying Battletech, I would definitely start with this. It's like easier. This is awesome. So like, as far as the record sheets go, this is awesome. Like, they're double-sided. There's a lot of them. I'm assuming it. I don't know. I don't know if it has everything, but it has a lot. So this is great. Like, my 6th grade to junior high student would just love these, and I would too. I'd be stoked. My kids are old, and so I don't need these. But like, these would be awesome for that. So these are awesome. These are okay. Now, obviously, they're high quality, so I'm not gonna complain about that. Like, they're high quality. I assume I could use a dry erase marker, and that's great. But I hate to admit it. I hate to be a stickler, but like, I prefer the white ones better. They're cleaner. Like, I don't like the beige, and I know why they like. And it's kind of funny too. You'll notice that like they're like, oh, but they did the white here, right? But I know why they have to have something there, because it's color. It's full color. They have to have some kind of gray in here. It's full color. Okay, I get it, but in all honesty, I prefer the white. And that's what you mean. You're like, well, you're dumb, Dave. Okay, fair enough. But like, I hate to say it, but I'm never going to use these. I think they're great. I appreciate the work and the value, but I'm never going to use these. I'm going to use the white sheets. I'm going to photocopy them, or I'm going to get the PDF. That's one awesome thing about Catalyst, so I got to praise Catalyst. Remember, I'm very happy with this, but I want to praise them. Like, they put up the PDF of the record sheets, and so you print them. Like, I'd rather have the PDF than actually photocopying the little pack that I'm going to get, like in the box. So it's like I download the PDF for free, I print my record sheets, and like, I love it. I love it. Like, that's 100%. So these, like, I mean, the quality is 100%. I don't like the beige. And this is going to be stupid too. You're going to be like, Dave, you're dumb. That's fine. I prefer line art. Like, here's the thing. These are all different looking. And you're like, well, they're different colors, Dave. I know, but it almost like, and they might all be the same artist, but like, these don't feel consistent to me. And you might go, you're stupid, Dave. Fair enough. But like, I prefer the consistency of the black and white line art, and I believe, I'll look at it again, I believe it's the same artist. That's another A+ thing that Catalyst did. They like unified the art, or at least as much as they could. Like, their goal, it seems like their goal is to unify all the line art, so it's similar or the same, or very similar, and so it's very consistent. I love that. Like, in their black and white sheets, these don't feel as unified. Maybe it's just because they're all cool. Like this purple guy, blah. Like, maybe it's, you know why? It's like, I don't like purple. Like, but if that was black and white, like, what would I care? It's black and white. So it's like, maybe that's why. I don't like purple. Like, I like this one better because I like the color. You know, like, okay, so that's weird. Anyways, the quality on these is top notch. So I appreciate that. I'll never use them. And so again, if I'm not going to use them, why make it? I would rather, instead of them doing this, I'd rather them make more of these. I'd rather have more of these. So that way, like, if I had a nephew, like if I had a younger nephew, I'd be like, okay, we're going to play Battletech, and this is easier, and these are full color. You know what? And there's less beige here too. Like, see how much, that's why. That's why I like this. like, there's less beige. Like, you got the big colorful robot, little bit of beige. Here it's like you got this, it's like it's kind of big and blank, beige. It seems kind of empty. I mean, I know that's the way it has to be. Anyways, I'm being hyperly critical. Who cares what I say? Anyways, I would have rather had more of these and never use them because I don't have a young nephew than to have these. Anyways, high quality, but just like those fancy dice, I'm never going to use them. So here's the big Timberwolf, right? And let me tell you a funny story about this. When I first saw this thing in the Kickstarter, I groaned. I was like, that is so stupid. Like, I saw that thing, I'm like, what a waste of plastic. I'd rather have like a whole lance of freebie mechs than, I'd rather have a lance of fancy urban mechs than this redundant Timberwolf. Like, that was my first impression when I saw this in the Kickstarter. I'm like, what a waste of plastic. I was like, oh, that was so sad that the Chinese, manufacturer like did that. Like, what a waste. That's dumb. No one's going to want that thing. Until I opened it up in this Kickstarter, this is like one of my favorite things now. I was like, this blew me away in person. I love this thing. This thing is rad. Now, I went from like, what a waste. Like, I used to think, well, that's like a waste of plastic, to this thing is awesome. And I think, I don't know how expensive these would be, but this is how I want to play regular Battletech. Like, crunchy Battletech, where you only have like 4 mechs on the board. I want it to be this size. This is how I want to play it. I want to play with this big crunchy mech, and I want it to be where like, oh, the arm's blown off and you can just pull the arm off. So this is how we all want to play regular not Alpha Strike, because Alpha Strike I'm going to have like 12 of these. Like, I mean, if they're cheap enough, yeah. But this is awesome. So this is awesome. I'm going to paint this like the Mech Warrior 2 cover box. Like, I don't know if that's the best color design, but that's the most nostalgic. And I already have, I mean, I can't use this in the game anyways, but I love this thing. So this is 100%. And I think everyone should paint these things, and we should post them on Reddit or whatever, or not necessarily a contest, but we should all have fun painting these things and showing them off and just having a blast with these. And if it was affordable to make these, Catalyst, we want these for regular Battletech. And remember, the limbs have to pull off. So like they could just make all the parts, but they don't have to assemble them at the factory. Another thing that's a real positive is the actual Mercenaries box set. This thing is awesome, but it's not 100. It's not 100%. It's very close. And so I was like looking at this, like, and there's like other unboxing videos, and you see all the parts, and I was like, this is amazing. This has so much good stuff in it. But there's a couple things where I'm like, oh, why'd they do that? Or like, that's dumb. And I was like, this thing could have been perfect. So this is like a 95% out of 100. I mean, it's an A, right? It's an A. It's great. Everything about it is great. And I figure they did stuff to save money. I get it. But like, why have a product? They're like, because it has to be $75, Dave. That's why. Okay, I get it. I get it, Catalyst. It has to be $75. But like, me personally, I'd rather this be like $79.99, and you pay to get those other things perfect. So this thing is 100% perfect. Anyways, I'm being nitpicky. This thing is awesome. This thing is rad. But before I go into how rad this thing is, let's talk about this thing. I hate to say it, but I'm not a big fan of this thing. Now, it's high quality, like the cover, the variant cover. This was like major, like low-hanging fruit. They're like, oh, we need like a special box, like a Kickstarter box. Okay. And I guess it's like a carbon texture, and it's got this shiny red. I mean, like, it looks okay. But like, so I don't want to admit how much I got, but I ended up getting 2 of these, right? Notice how I didn't get 2 of these. Like, why would I get 2 of these? This thing's dumb. So I got 1 of this because it's like collectible in quotes. So I got this, but then I definitely wanted to make sure I was going to get this. Why? Because it's a beautiful painting and it looks awesome. And it has stuff on the side. I mean, it's great, right? And you're like, but Dave, this is collectible. Yeah, I don't care. This doesn't look as good as this. I did get one. Notice how I didn't even bother to open it yet. I was like, oh my gosh, I bought so much crap that maybe I just won't open this one right away. And I don't know, maybe I can trade or sell it to somebody, or if I need it, I'll open it. Usually I like kind of 2 of everything. So that's why I got 2 of these, right? I got this one. I got this one because like no point in getting 2 of these, but I do prefer this over that. So again, if you're going to make, now I get it. I can hear Catalyst like, well, we don't have to, it would have taken forever to make a more fancy box like this. And this is so iconic. Oh, okay. I want to hear all your coping excuses. Oh, look, you can see my shadow. You're like, you're criticizing us, Dave, and we can see the shadow of your camera right there. You're a hack. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, internet audience. I can see my shadow there. But, boy, that's bad. Is it? That's interesting. Oh, it's because the box is shiny. Is that it? Who cares? Anyways, like, why do it if it's not that great? I love the little black carbon. Like, that's cool. Like, that's pretty sweet. And I do like it. You know what this reminds me of? Dugrom. So you get like an A for like, oh, it would be like this. Oh, that's funny. Is it supposed to be like this? Oh yeah, it's supposed to be like that. It looks better like a V. Yeah, it looks better like a V. You're like, but Dave, it's an A. Yeah, I guess you're right. But this reminds me of Dugrom. So you get an A for that. But again, it's just too simple. Like, and so you're like, well, what would you do, Dave? I don't know what I've done. You know what I would have done? You know what I like better than this? For the Clan Invasion Kickstarter, they had another beautiful painting. And yeah, that's better than this. And you're like, oh, but Dave, that's more expensive. Like, we would have had to pay that painter. Like, this Catalyst talking. Dave, we just couldn't do it. We would have had to have paid a painter, and it would have been a lot more money. And okay, but you did pretty good on this Kickstarter. So I would have preferred a beautiful painting like that other Clan Invasion box. That's like my favorite box. Like, I love it. And then you make a poster out of it, right? So, and I love that poster. So I like the material. So I'm not gonna, and here, it's like this. This is what it's supposed to be. That looks better. You're crazy, Dave. I know, I am crazy. I'm crazy for Battletech. This looks cooler, doesn't it? It's like a V. V for victory. Dugrom. Anyways, I do appreciate the quality. I just, I'd rather have a painting. So it has a primer. It's cool that it has a primer, but I'm going to criticize that. The rulebook is awesome. It has all kinds of good stuff in there. It's great. Awesome. Okay. This is awesome. It has this cool little story. I haven't read this author yet. I mean, I intend to, but I love it that like, oh, I can like get a taste of the flavor of this author, and that will help me decide if I'm gonna like hurry up and read, because there's so many books to read, right? But anyways, so that's cool. I love that. I love it that they got this author. That's cool, and you know, it looks great. That's cool. Great. Okay, the mechs are great. All the plastic is great. Awesome. Everything's great here. Great. Love it. I mean, you might complain about like, oh, I would have rather had a certain mech. That's fine, fair. But the quality, awesome. Love it. Love it all. I love all these cards. So these are support cards. Yeah. I love these battle. Now I haven't read all the rules. I haven't read the rules yet. I just got it. But I love the idea of, oh, these are the battlefield support cards. Love this. Love, love, love. Awesome. Obviously, no one likes the dice, but they're dice. Okay, I love the cards. I love it that you get so many cards. So I love the cards. You get these too. What's this? Oh, this is like the old school battlefield support. So yeah, air cover. Yeah, I love it. And so this continues from what they already have. Love it. This is awesome. So that's great. I mean, I don't even use it. I haven't used it much. In fact, but I love the concept that they have it. And then I like these cards, right? Obviously, these cards are good. I hate to say it though. I'm going to say it again. These are beautiful. And like the graphic designer did a ton of work to make these beautiful. Beautiful. But I hate to say it. I like it. I'd rather have a fancy black and white one. I just want to print out a fancy, Like the ones they have are good, but they could, like, I would rather have them spend a little bit more time making the black and white ones slightly more fancy. I'd rather use that than this. That being said, these are beautiful, they're sturdy, and yeah, you can't make a black and white card, I guess. It has to be color. I'm nitpicking it, right? But they're beautiful. I just like, when it comes to games, I'm old and I like simplicity. But anyways, I love it that they have cards. I love the amount of cards. Definitely feel like this is a great value. Even though it's like 75 bucks, I definitely feel like I'm not getting cheated, right? So I feel like this is great value. I like this. I like this tray. I like that it has this little tray. The tray's great. Okay, I love these black and white record sheets, and like I said earlier, I prefer these. It's just uniform, simple, and it's easier on the eyes. It's easier to read because it's just black and white. I like it that all the art seems similar. Let me see. Let me look here. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just love it. They don't have the vehicles in here. It's because they're support now, huh? That's okay. Love it. Love it. And I love it that they usually have a PDF of this. So, like, you might be a kid at home and you're like, what am I going to do with that? Like, photocopy it? Like, no, you're gonna go to Catalyst website. You're going to download the PDF of this when they have it available, and you're going to print them. And it's going to be awesome. You're just going to print them. You're like, I don't have a printer. Well, you need to get a printer. How else are you going to print out your models for Junk Runner Skirmish and play that game? Okay. I love this map. Or this is like the star map, or what is it? Like the inner sphere? I'm not going to open it up. Love it. Love it. I love these. This is awesome. And you're like, do you like hang them up? No, I don't. I mean, I might someday, but I mean, every once in a while I might, like for a campaign, but love this thing. I love the quality. My only complaint, and it's readable, this stuff's small. So like, in a perfect world, I would just want this to be bigger. You're like, well, we can't really make it bigger to fit in the box, Dave. Okay, I get it. But I wish it could be a little bigger so I could just, because I'm old and I can't read. Even with my glasses. Actually, I can read these. I can read them. But it would have been nice if it was a little bigger. But as far as the quality, the graphics, I love it. And I love it. They have two eras. But they got 3058, and I think they have like the current. It's like, what, 3051? Yeah, 3151. So, awesome. A+ for that. Well, almost A. I mean, it's probably as big as they could make it. They probably couldn't make it any bigger, but I would have liked it bigger. I love these. These are awesome. These are great. I love it that they just, because they're like, I think they're saying like, we can't make infantry. They're too small. But it's like, they made tokens. It's like, yeah, that's good enough. Like, this is great. And it's cheaper. It's like, okay, I got a bunch of infantry now. This is really all we need. I love it. And I love all these, like, look at this, is like a field hospital. Love it. Ammo. I love these. This is 100% right here. And the best part about it is they have like it's like gray on the back. So it's like, this could be your opponent, right? So these are 100% for this component. Love it. This is perfect. These are perfect. Thick card, awesome. I mean, this is 100%. Okay, no complaints there. Those are the best. Love these. These are great. Nice cards, like a reference card. Double-sided, looks great. Easy to read, which is good because I'm blind. Love this thing. I mean, this is, no one's gonna, I guess you could, I mean, no one's gonna, I mean, this is mainly meant to photocopy, right? I mean, I guess you could like use a dry erase, maybe, but like no one's gonna do that. That's gonna get messy. Someone might wanna think they're gonna do that, but really we're just gonna photocopy this thing. But I like the thought that they included this, so that's nice. Oh, and I love this contract too. Awesome. Again, this is just going to be photocopied. Oh, and then here's another record sheet. So, or not a record sheet, it's a cheat sheet. Great. Yeah, I love it. Awesome. Okay. Oh, and the maps are awesome. Oh, I don't know. They kind of look different. I'm going to assume that these maps are different. These maps are perfect. And they're like, you get two of them and they're double-sided. Awesome. So, okay. So I love this. This is like, this product is great, but I am going to complain. First, so remember, I think this is an awesome product. This is like a 95%. This is like, go buy this thing like right away. So don't let my quibbles, I'm just being honest here because that's, otherwise, why would you listen to me? I'm a disagreeable person. My first quibble is this. So I love these cards. These pilot cards are the best. I love them. This is the best idea that Catalyst ever had. Like, we're going to have like a million awesome, cool little colorful character cards. These are rad. You know what the problem with these are? I can't read them. I can't read them. You're like, what do you mean? What do you mean, Dave? What do you mean you can't read them? I can read them barely. Like, it is very difficult for me to read this text. I am an old man. And you're like, well, that's too bad. You're an old man. Okay, fair enough, Catalyst. But Catalyst, surely you know that a large portion of your audience is old. Like a 20 or 30-year-old can read this no problem. I'm older. I'm much older than that. So once you start getting 40s and up, and that's a lot of us. And dude, all of you guys working at Catalyst or whatever, all the main dudes, you're all over 40. You're old. And here's the thing. I can read this, but it's difficult. And you know that if something's difficult to read or do, you're not going to do it. So I'm like, oh, like I remember I was like, I'm going to try to read these. And it was like, ugh. Like I had to like have like all this light. And I had to like very carefully try to read these. And it's like, but like, who's going to do that? Like nobody. So like the whole effort for these I feel is wasted unless you're like a 20-year-old kid. But like, I'm sad because like, I think this is the coolest thing ever. I want to read it. They were smart though. The graphic designer, he was like, uh-oh. I can just imagine the graphic designer. He's like, this is going to be hard to read. And like I could just see like the developers, like whoever it is, Randall or Ray or whoever, they're like, no, we got to fit all this text in here. And the graphic designer, like, I could just see the graphic designer's like, but that's going to be hard to read. And like, yeah, but we got to put it in there. And he's like, the graphic designer's like, but they're not going to be able to read it. And if it's hard to read, like, no one's going to read it. And they're like, yeah, but we got to try. And so the graphic designer's like, oh, okay. So the and the graphic designer's like, okay, well, what can I do? I guess I can make so notice how the background is white. And that makes it a little easier to read. They should do that everywhere. The background should be white, especially when the text is small to read. But even with that, there's so much text, it's hard to read. It's beautiful design. It's just, I wish these were tarot cards. If it was tarot card, it could be a little bigger, and they can make it, it can make the text a little bigger. Tarot cards. Now, I can see Catalyst being like, we can't make those in tarot cards. I know you can't. That's why you made them regular cards. Regular cards are a great idea. But like, I would have been like, hey, can we do a tarot card? And then you would have been, shut up, Dave. I'm like, okay. But anyways, I love it. I can't read them. Or at least I don't want to try to read them. It's just too much. This I can read. I could read these, no problem. They're like, well, Dave, there's less information. Yeah, okay. Well, no, it's nice and big, easy to read. Good job. These are A+ for these. I can read these. But again, it's easier to read the white ones. You know what I do? I scan in, I download the white blank ones, and then in Photoshop, I like enlarge them as big as I can. So like mine, like in Photoshop, I enlarge them a little bit. I'm not that blind. There's people that can see. I'm normal. I'm like an old man. Like I know other people that they have more difficulty than me. But anyways, great. So that's a quibble there. My next quibble is this thing's great. So 100% here. Oh well, it would have been cool if they had some kind of graphic here. Like we can't do that, Dave. That's just a throwaway little novel thing. I know, but wouldn't it be awesome if there's like even just something right here? Like, what? You're going to print both sides just to put a little graphic there? That's expensive. I know, but it would have been awesome. Okay, so now let's talk about this. This is my biggest quibble. So the rulebook, the rulebook is awesome. The rulebook, all of this, perfect. The information is perfect. The pictures are perfect. Lots of good, like there's not a lot of like wasted, like why'd they put that in there? Like this is all awesome information, great. My only quibble for here is how come this is white? You're like, well, Dave, we can't print double-sided on that kind of paper. Okay, fine, print on different paper. Well, that's expensive. Oh, well, because I noticed this on my other, like all the, well, that's how we do all of our rule books. All of our rule books, it's blank here. Why? Like, have a cool do it black and white. Can you print, is it cheaper to print black and white here? Or gray? It can be like a gray schematic, kind of like in your big books, like your regular hardback books, you have like a gray, like, you got like the schematic, and it's like gray. That'd be awesome. Anyways, nitpick. Why? Because everything about this book is perfect. Like, this is all perfect. And then I'm like, this is awesome. Graphic design is good. I can read it. It's readable. It's good. The pictures are great. Everything's great. And then it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Anyways, that's a nitpick. You're like, well, we had to, Dave. It would have cost an extra $1. I'd pay it. Okay, now here's the thing that I really dislike. Now, I like it that they have a primer. So I'm not going to, I think it's cool that they add the primer. But this feels like an afterthought. And you're like, well, what do you mean, Dave? Well, when I look at it, it's not as tight as the rule book. So like I'm looking here, like this is cool, right? I mean, this stuff's cool. But like, check this out. They got this big text here. And like the font is real big. This is like, so this is what you do when you don't have enough font and you have to like fill the page with it. And it just looks weird. Like this font's real big and then this is like real thin. And it's like, what? Like, now, you're like, well, Dave, it's free. Like, what do you care? Well, don't you want to be perfect? Like, so like this, I don't know. Now, and you're like, well, Dave, you're complaining that like the text is too small and the other things. Here it's nice and big. It's easy to read. Yeah, but it's too big. Like, I don't know. Like, and maybe the graphic designer didn't have a choice. Like, maybe the art, whoever was there, like, well, we're going to use this kind of shape and we're going to fill it. Well, then, I don't know, give them some more text or maybe put this thing up and then put a little, like the little atlas head here so the text can be smaller. And you just have a little thing here to fill the space. I don't know what the solution is, but this is like, oh, but then, and then probably like, they probably like do this in a day. Like the graphic designer probably like, they're all, oh, just do it in a day. Well, if you're going to do it like real quick, why do it at all? Like, right? Like, okay. You're like, Dave, you're being too critical. Like, this stuff's cool. This feels like wasted space, though. But it's cool. Again, here it is. It's like the big text. It's like, oh. So I don't know what the solution is. I'm no expert. Like, I don't like this. You're like, Dave, you're being too critical. Like, who cares, Dave? Like, people are going to, like, read this and then throw it away. Okay, well then why even include it? Okay, watch. I'm going to show you why I'm going to try to justify myself. Okay, look at this big text here. And you're like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, well here, let me put the rule book down. Oh. Like this is all tight. Like looks good. A good size font. And you look at this and it's like, whoa. It looks like they had to fill a big box with not enough text. That's what this looks like to me. Now, again, I'm being overly critical. But like, the only reason why I'm being so critical is because this is so awesome. So I assume it's the same person. I assume this person did this. And maybe I'm wrong, and I assume they had less time to do this. And it had to be a certain, like I would be like, well, why not just make it less pages? I don't know. I would, I would freak out if like I was, like, you got to do it like that. That's just the way it's going to be. It's like, can we do it nope. Oh, okay. But like, this is so good. This is so good. It makes this not look good. So don't have something that's really good with something that's not so good. And again, you're like, well, we just had to do it. Well, don't even include it. Like, don't include this then. Like, don't include this. Or condense this information to like 4 pages and put it in here. Like, just put it in the back. Like, what do we care? Like 4 pages here. Or They probably didn't want to put it in the front. I don't blame it, because sometimes you get, like in Warhammer books, you get bogged down in all the primer stuff at the beginning. You're like, where are the rules? So I get it. I mean, I know you're smart at Catalyst. I know, like, here's a page. 1 page, 2 page. I mean, that's 2 pages. You could have had, like, primer. Yeah, there's less information, but condense it. And then you just have, I don't know, a being critical, right? So it could have been 100%. So it's like 95%. So what was it? It was like, I can't read the character cards, that like the pilot cards, which I desperately want to read. I think that's like the coolest thing. I can't read them because I'm blind. I'm disabled. I'm not disabled, but I have sight issues. I like this thing. I love the information, but like it just feels like it doesn't. This doesn't go with this. Like, well, we only had 1 day to do it. Well, then don't do it. Like, but we had to do it. Okay, put this in here. Like, no, because this is like, how many pages is this? Like 48 or something? Oh, it's like 32. This is 32 pages, not what? What would it be? 36? It's not. It's 32 pages, not 36. Well, okay. Well, I don't know. Make this better. Oh, and then it's kind of like, look at this. Hey, whoa. This colored. I can just hear Catalyst. Yeah, but that's the flimsy paper. You can't print this on thicker? Like, see how cool that is? Why not do, I don't know. Anyways, I'm being critical. Overall, this product is the best product. I'm just nitpicking some of their choices. Anyways, there's all kinds of factors that go into this. Sometimes you don't have a choice. It's like, well, we need something. Okay. Maybe they made it big for like a sixth grader. So maybe, I was just thinking this through, maybe they made the text so big so like a 6th grader could read it. Now that would make sense. So like I could just imagine like Ray Arastia like emailing me like, Dave, you're an idiot. Dave, we did this for a reason. It's for like 6th graders to read. Now, if Ray or Brent or if they said like, dude, we did it so 6th graders could read, like, there's a reason, like, oh, now I understand. Because like now I kind of sold myself on the big text. Like a 6th grader could read this. Maybe that's the answer. So reach out in the comments, Catalyst. Did you make this for a 6th grader to read? If that is the case, then I defer. But like for anyone else, like for an adult, nah. 6th grader, yes. Yeah, maybe. Oh, for a 6th grader. Okay. Anyways, this box is awesome. I can't say enough good about it. Okay, let's talk about the posters. I love posters, and that is why, sadly, I'm going to be kind of critical on these. Now, the quality of the posters is awesome. Like, it is like high quality paper. I mean, it's really nice. And I think they're bigger than what they intended them to be. So I think like that was an upgrade. So it's high quality paper and they're bigger than what they would have been, I think. I think it was like a stretch goal upgrade. And so the quality of the posters are awesome, right? But some of them like aren't that great. Now, this one is the best. So this one has that key art, looks really good. I think they had this like double, so I don't know why on the back of one of the posters they didn't divide this in two and like have the other half of this. That would have been awesome, but they didn't do that. Why? That would have been awesome. Okay, but anyways, this is a great one, so I really have no complaints. This is like the best one. This is probably the one I'm going to hang up, right? Okay, and then let's look at this one. This one's really cool. This has like all of the, the unit recognition guide, right? So this is pretty cool. I mean, this would be awesome. Like if I was in 6th grade, I would love this. So 6th grade me, I would love it. I'd hang this on my wall and I'd look at him and I'd like, oh, I got him. I wouldn't check them off, but like I would like look at the ones I didn't have. So this is a very good use of the Kickstarter. Oh, and the graphic design's good. Like I like this little, can you see it? The key. Like I love it. Light, medium, really cool. So good job, graphic designer. Looks really good. Excellent. So overall, pretty good. It's good. So I'm just gonna let this one go. There it is. So, I mean, this one's like a cool picture, but it's not, it doesn't, I don't, it's okay. It's just not a great big poster. I mean, it's moody. I don't know. But like, I feel like there could have been a better poster. I mean, like I said, I like the art. But for a huge poster, it's almost like this was meant for the book and there's going to be a bunch of white text here, right? But because now it's a poster, there isn't a bunch of block. Like there'd be the history of certain invasion or something here, and that'd be awesome. It'd be like white text on the black back. It'd be, you know, it'd be cool. Nope. Anyway, it's not so great. So not a fan. And let's look at this one. Oh, okay. This one, like, okay, let me see if there's that glare. So love the picture. So I love the picture here. But the funny thing about this one is it's great, right? It's great, but it's like when they blew this up, like this feels not very detailed. Like this big mech. Gosh, I don't even know what this guy is called. He's the new mech. I should know his name. I forgot. So, but anyways, like, so the illustration is good, but it should be smaller. So like when I look at it really big, it's like, oh, like he's, he feels like he should have more detail, like paint mashy strokes. I don't know, something. I mean, they've got some thin stuff in here. I guess my point is this big mech. In fact, this one almost looks more detailed. It's probably the same. It almost looks like he painted that at the same scale as this. But this one got shrunk down, and so he appears to be more detailed. But I can tell like it has the same strokes, the same weathering. This looks better. Why? Because it's smaller. So what's my point? My point is awesome painting. Like I could never paint like this. It just, I feel like, oh, there should be more detail here. Like this painting could be 100% perfect, but it's not. Like now you're probably thinking, but Dave, that would be way expensive. We'd have to pay the artist more. It would take more time. Like this artist is probably doing, I don't know who this is. This artist is probably doing all the art. He doesn't have time to add more detail for this poster. Like he's working on other posters. He's working on the box cover. He's working on this, that, and the other. He doesn't have time to do this. Oh, well then why do it? Why do it if it's not good enough? Like why? I don't know. Anyways, it's good. It's just that, like, I look at this and it's like, aw. And, like, is that really what you want people's reactions to be? To, like, aw, if only this was more detailed. Like, what? I get it. This is probably one guy. He probably does everything. He's probably too busy. And it would be more expensive. But, like, why not make it perfect? Like, why not make this the best poster, like, ever? Like, even, like it's sad. Like this looks like the same detail as this. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Anyways, you're like, well, you're not that good, Dave. Yeah, I know. But like, pay this guy more. Give him more time so this can be the best. Like, we can't do that. Yeah, I get it. I get it. There's a deadline. I know. I'll tell you what, though. This is better than this. I don't think this was meant to be a big poster. Okay, now let's look at this one. These are probably all the same artists. I don't know. So this one's awesome. Let's see. It's dark. Let's see. There's a glare. So this one's amazing, right? And I'm looking at the quality. The quality is the same on all these guys. It looks good. Either this artist had more time, or is this the same artist? I don't know. Who knows? Could be. Anyways, this one looks great. Love it. Can I nitpick this one? Not really. Looks cool. Okay, so that's number 2 that's really good. Okay, now let's look at this one. Oh, this one's gonna be hard. Okay, here we go. So this one, here. So this one's this cool, this is like a book cover, right? And it wasn't meant, I don't think this one was meant to be this big. So this one's like, oh, I forget which book cover this is on. But anyways, this is like a nice big book cover. It's beautiful. It's moody. It's different. It doesn't have as much detail, but But that doesn't bother me as much. But you know what really bothers me about this? Is this right here. His signature. Here, I'm gonna I'm gonna disconnect here. Okay, so here's this poster. So it's beautiful. Maybe it could use some more detail, but this is originally meant to be like, I don't know, like 10 by 8, or, I mean, it's supposed to be much smaller, so they blew it up. So, okay, whatever. But like, if you're gonna have a poster this big, I mean, I know it takes forever, but maybe you should paint it this size. But they're probably thinking like, but that'll cost a lot of money. I know, but it's what a great opportunity is to have like a big, beautiful painting. Yeah, you gotta pay for it, but like, don't you want to make like the best poster ever? Okay, but here's my real big issue. Look at this. It's like, look at this huge name. It's like, whoa! Like, his name is huge. And now, it's like, oh my gosh. I wonder who painted this painting. I wonder. And it's really distracting to see that big signature. Now, you're probably thinking, come on, Dave. You know, you're totally nitpicking it. Okay, but it's really distracting when I look at that. When I was in art school many years ago, my painting teacher, he said, no, you don't sign your paintings, you just sign them on the back. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And his point was like, if you're like Picasso, yeah, you sign your name, but like you're not. Like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Just sign on the back. And like, does it really matter that I know? I mean, Benjamin Parker, he knows that he painted this. Like, it's in his portfolio, and he can show it to people. And like, yeah, I painted this painting. And like, what? Like if his like signature isn't on it, like they're not going to believe him that he painted this if it's in his portfolio? No, of course. So it's really strange. It's like, I can't stop looking at it. And maybe it's just me, but like, I really feel it's unnecessary. For instance, is the good one on the back here? Like, oh gosh, I gotta flip it. Like, this one doesn't have a signature. There's no signature here. Could you imagine? I could just imagine if there's a big yellow signature here, like a big old yellow signature, like so-and-so like painted this. And it would be so terrible. Like, oh, it needs to be yellow so it pops out. No, like, I don't want to look at your signature. Like, there's no signature here on this painting, and it looks great. You can't even see this. But like, I cover it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, it looks 100% better. Why? Because I'm looking at the painting, and I'm not looking at his name. His name is dark, and it's in a white background, so it has a lot of contrast for his name. So I can't stop looking. Like, I'm like, hey, wow, Battletech. Oh, Benjamin. Whoa, Benjamin. And now you're thinking, Dave, you're exaggerating. I know. It's distracting though. But I cover it up, and it's like, I cover this up, and I'm like, this already looks better. Benjamin, you are an awesome painter. You're like 100% better painter than me. I just think it's weird. It's distracting that your name is here. Now, that might not have been your fault. Benjamin's like, dude, I told them to take my name out, but they're too busy. They didn't take, okay, fine. I believe you. So like, they have these cool posters, but like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 of them are kind of a waste. Like 2 of them are amazing. 1 of them's cool. And then the other 3 are like, and you're like, well, Dave, they're double-sided. Stop complaining. Just put them, okay. Anyways, those are my minor complaints. I love these posters. Like this poster's rad. Like this one's, I don't even have enough room to hang up this poster, but I love it. I love this one. I love the other one. I mean, I guess I'd rather have a poster of something than no poster. It's just, the only reason why I criticize is just, if Battletech is going to be close to perfection, why not just be perfection? Why not just pay Benjamin, just pay him again? Like, just say, okay, pay him again, and he's gonna paint this, like, paint right on top of it, just add more detail. Maybe he wants to add something. Maybe Benjamin had to rush through this thing, and he's like, I really wanted to do something right here, like a tank or a busted up. Fine, let him paint it. You know what I'm saying? Pay him again, and then say, hey Benjamin, why don't you just get rid of that? And then like, this poster would have been like the best poster in the world. It's like almost there. Why not just make it like the best poster in the world? Almost the best poster in the world. This one, is this the best poster in the world? I don't know how you can improve this one. This one's pretty awesome. And then the other one's awesome too. Anyways, I love the posters. I love the quality. Everything was great. Everything was good in this Kickstarter. I loved it. So, Catalyst, good job. Just don't do any more Kickstarters because your shipping's too high. Just go to retail and I'll buy all your stuff at retail with a smile on my face. And we'll all be happy. And don't let people sign so big. I know I'm the only one that cares about that.
So that's my review of the Kickstarter. I really enjoyed it, and it was great. So I quibbled on a few items, like maybe a little too much. But again, I can't stress it enough. You're like so close to perfection. Just make it perfect. Don't you want to be perfect? But I love all the plastic, and it's great. So I'm going to have a great time building and painting all that stuff. One more thing. If you're interested in Battletech, and I'm sure you are, I'm going to be making some videos soon. Mainly, I have movement trays for Alpha Strike, and so that we can play really big games of Alpha Strike, kind of Alpha Strike Battle Force in quotes. And I've been making counters and stuff for that. You can actually download it all right now. It's at gainbeard.com under my little Battletech section. You can download a bunch of stuff, and you're like, what do I do with all this? Well, you make it. You're like, well, I don't know how to make it. Well, I'm going to make the videos, but probably in a couple weeks, because you may not even have your Kickstarter package yet, and I'm busy. So, but there will be videos. I've been prepping all that. So I want to play big scale games because just like you, I have many, many mechs, and I want to play them in a game. Now, they have rules for you to do that, Alpha Strike and Battle Force, but I modified it so it's simpler, and you can take it or leave it. But it's simpler so that I can play bigger games, and it seems like it's a lot of fun. And you can download all that stuff. So it's at gamebeard.com. And then don't let me forget to tell you, I've made my own game, Junk Runner Skirmish. It's inspired by Alpha Strike and other similar kind of skirmish games, and it has mechs, and it's free to download. It's papercraft. You don't have to buy it. And so you just download the buildings, you build them, you can use them for other skirmish games like Warhammer if you want. There's roads, all kinds of cool stuff. So go to gamebeard.com, download Junk Runner Skirmish. You can download the rules, you can download the models, you can start building them. I have a bunch of not so exciting build videos, but they're just to show you how to build them. And then there'll be other videos for Junk Runners coming soon too. So I have another battle report that I'm working on and other things too. So new stuff. So subscribe and check out all my videos, and have a great week, and I'll see you next time.